We've just got a special treat coming up, is a pre-recorded interview from yesterday with our very own Richard Klipin. Took on the deputy leader of the National Party and its finance spokesperson Nicola Willis. Let's hear what they had to say.
Here everybody. A very warm welcome to the Financial Services Council's conference, and very delighted to be welcoming Nicola Willis, Deputy Leader of the National Party and Shadow Spokesperson for Finance, amongst many other roles. I'm really delighted to welcome Nicola to this conversation, as she has many FSC conversations. It is our annual conference, and Nicola, delighted to have you with us. Kia ora, welcome.
Great to be here, and good afternoon to everyone at the conference.
Nicola, we were going to invite you just to say a few words, just to set the scene. It's obviously been a very intense start to 2023 and a very intense week. So really interested in your sense of where things are at, and then we'll come back afterwards with a few questions, if that's okay.
Well, look, as everyone involved with financial services knows, New Zealand is currently in quite a challenging economic position. We know that we were in recession for the last 3 months of last year, and at least the first 3 months of this year. The cost of living crisis is now entering its third year, with inflation persisting at 6%. We are seeing across the economy the effects of rapidly rising interest rates, with mortgaged families really feeling the impact as they switch to higher rates, and small businesses in particular feeling the effect of more expensive loans. At the same time, the government books are not in great shape. We have a significant deficit. There's debate in Wellington about how big that will be when it's revealed in the pre-election update. But what we know is that we are indebted post-COVID, and there's certainly work to do to get all of that in shape. And we have a current account deficit, which certainly won't be helped by the lower dairy payout. So all of this means that it's National's view that over these next few weeks, as we enter into the general election, there will be a real focus on what's needed to get New Zealand's economy back to full health, so that New Zealanders can get ahead, that we can reduce that cost of living, lift incomes, and ensure that New Zealand has the funding needed to deliver great public services. So we, the National Party, will be putting forward our policies to achieve economic growth and to deliver better results for New Zealanders over these next weeks. Members will know that other parties will be doing that same process. We're very much looking forward to the debate and are focused on a platform that will ensure the New Zealand economy can realise its great potential and grasp the enormous opportunities in front of it. We're confident with changes to our policy settings, we can get New Zealand back on track.
Thanks, Nicola. That's excellent. Just a couple of questions, obviously, that emanate from that. You speak about policy delivery. What's in the pipeline over the next 10 weeks without obviously specifying what the policy is? What are the big ticket items that you're focused on?
Yeah, look, we've already announced 27 policies, and anyone who's looking for some nighttime reading, I recommend you go to the National Party website. We've released detailed policy papers on a number of things, from how we want to free up regulation for renewable energy, through to how we want to deliver infrastructure for the future. But what you will see from our entire policy platform is an emphasis on what is needed to remove regulation or barriers that are preventing innovation, investment, job creation and growth, because it's our view that that will be essential to New Zealand improving its performance over the coming years. You'll also see an emphasis on less tax. We will shortly be releasing our full tax policy, which will set out our plans to reduce, in particular, the income tax burden on New Zealanders, as well as righting the balance in terms of additional taxation that has been placed on housing. And you can expect to see from us a real focus on how we drive more value from the government expenditure across those really pivotal areas, particularly health and education, where we have seen big increases in expenditure, but we haven't seen the increase in public service levels to individual New Zealanders. And we've got some innovative ideas about how to drive that better. So that's what you can expect to see from us, Richard.
Anything more on KiwiSaver, Nicola?
Well, you've got Chris Luxon addressing this conference in the coming days, and he will certainly have more to say about that.
Fantastic. Just two last questions. A pulse of the nation. I mean, what's your read of the feeling of New Zealanders now 18 months kind of since the end of the pandemic? It feels like the press is filled with, there's a lot of doom and gloom. I mean, what's your read on where we're at as a country?
Look, I think that is a fair characterisation. One of the things that happens to me when I'm travelling around the country is I have complete strangers come up to me and occasionally shake me on the shoulders and say, Nicola, you better win or I'm leaving. And we have seen that there are many New Zealanders leaving for Australia. We are seeing real pain in households in terms of that cost of living crisis. You know, I knocked on a superannuitant couple's door recently. They said they haven't been to visit their grandchildren for 3 years because they can't afford a weekend away. And I think what you're seeing is that cumulative effect of inflation having been high for a very long period, entering its 27th month outside the target band now, interest rates crunching, and people really wanting to see some hope for the future. When we see our farmers suffering, people know that has run-on implications for our economy. And we are seeing, whether it's in building, construction or other sectors, a loss of confidence, a loss of investment happening. So whoever is in government, and you know my views on who that should be, with reviving that level of confidence and optimism about the future will be essential.
Yeah, because there is a lot to celebrate, notwithstanding perhaps some of the current pessimism. Hey, last question. It's a couple of months to go to the election. What's your sense of your next 10 weeks? What does it look like? What does it feel like? And what are you most looking forward to?
Oh, look, the next 10 weeks are going to be full on, and I'm going to love it because it's at this stage in the election cycle that New Zealanders from all walks of life engage in the debate about where our country needs to go. I will be engaging, and I think at more than half a dozen finance debates with the finance minister, with multiple candidate debates. I will be travelling up and down the country, talking to people. I will be releasing policies alongside the leader. And just to pick up on what you're saying, Richard, there is much for New Zealand to be confident and optimistic about. You know, the great thing about these next few weeks and what I've already experienced is wherever I go in the country, I meet people doing really exciting things with great ideas for the future, who love what we have going on in this country with our abundant natural resources, our innovative spirit, our strong sense of social cohesion. And I'm optimistic that with our policy platform, we can really bring some of that stuff to the surface and feel really great about the outlook for our corner of the world.
Fantastic. I really appreciate you taking the time to join us. And on behalf of all the delegates here today at the conference, best wishes for the next 10 weeks. And thanks for taking the time. Kia ora. Bye for now.
Kia ora.